Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Let's Get Cereal, the weekly show where I, your host, Alyssa Marino, eat cereal, talk about stuff, and sometimes talk to people. I am lucky to be with one of my favorite people, someone that I was able to connect with due to CCW's In and Out the Locker Room podcast, up-and-coming commentator, wrestling journalist, contributor, literally overall boss that is doing so much. My dear pal, Ella J. Hello, Ella J.
Hi, how are you?
Delightful. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course, I'm so honored to finally be on Let's Get Cereal.
It was a long time coming, and today we are already pre-poured because we don't have time to waste. We're busy gals, and we are going to be enjoying today some, drum roll please, Honey Nut Cheerios. Hold for applause. Hold for applause.
You even got the family size.
Well, it's it's a family food, is how I see it. So I feel like we can dig right in. We got a couple questions. My dear Ella J, let's get cereal.
Now this goes against everything in my broadcasting thing right now, but It's all good. It's all good fun.
It's true. You got to kind of trust the process on this one because so much of it is just, it's safe space. Eat with your mouth full. Enjoy. Mm-hmm. Top question on my mind, and we discussed it when we were first talking about what cereal we were going to choose. Why Cheerios?
Well, I have there's a few cereals that I had in mind, but I'm from Buffalo, and one of the things that we're known for is there's a General Mills factory downtown, and if you go downtown, it smells like Cheerios. And so if you've never been here, that probably sounds very strange, but honestly, it's one of the things that they promote when people are coming to Buffalo or around the Niagara area. And I mean, I just love some good old Cheerios too. That's just what I've grown up with. There's the frosted ones, there's Honey Nut, there's the whole grain. Cheerios are good. That's just my thing.
And there's just so much variety to them as well. I mean, do you remember, didn't they do an Olympics brand cereal? It was Team Cheerios, and they all it was all different varieties. Yeah. We like some variety in our lives.
Mine are a little heart-shaped. I don't know if you can tell. No, one of them is stuck to another. It is not going to work. But it's a little heart shape.
I see it.
I got the heart shape one, the limited edition.
You're so special. I just have the regular, but honestly, my heart is so full talking to you that it's kind of like the hearts are present anyway. See what I did there?
What a segue.
What a segue. Now, speaking of, a lot about this show is about nostalgia, because cereal, you eat cereal, you feel like a little kid again, and it's just the carefree time of eating breakfast on a Saturday afternoon. So I'm curious as to what little Ella J was like.
Oh gosh, little Ella J was such an introvert. I think until junior year of high school, I didn't have a lot of friends and I wasn't that outgoing. So I think I found a lot of my social life through sports. I pretty much played sports my whole life. When I was younger, I did basketball, volleyball, dance, gymnastics, softball I did for a while. So I think I found myself really through my sports. But even then, I still only talked to a few people on the team because I feel like I didn't really fit in and I was very shy.
Gosh, and it's for how much you do now and how your voice is kind of what are the things you're known for? Is you're always kind of let's chat. So
yeah, it's different. I still hate public speaking. That's the thing I've struggled with. I literally waited until my last semester of college to get that requirement out of the way. That's how much I hate it. Smaller scenarios I'm good with, but yeah, it sounds very counterintuitive to do broadcasting and then say I hate public speaking, but it's true.
But it is, you're right. You're kind of in this sort of niche situation where, a lot of what you're talking about is wrestling, which is something you're very passionate about. And along with being into a lot of different, sports and stuff like that, obviously wrestling was a huge part of your life while you were growing up. Are there any other particular shows or maybe non-sports activities that you were interested in as a kid?
A lot of shows growing up. I mean, I feel like I'm from that era of Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and stuff like that. Growing up too, I probably shouldn't have been watching this at like 2005, so it would have been 8. I think I've talked to you a little bit about Big Brother. I've been watching that since season 6. I definitely should not have been watching it at 8 years old, especially that season. But ever since now, we're going into season 24. And it's absolutely like coming up next month, it'll be season 24, I believe. And so I've been watching that since season 6. So for like 17 years going on now, that was definitely one. And then Disney Channel too. I mean, growing up too, I mean, like Hannah Montana. I mean, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I'll always watch those for nostalgia, and like Nickelodeon's like early 2000s to like, I would say mid 2010s, like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel was definitely like a lot of my favorites too.
Heck yeah. And we're going to just bypass the part where you almost blocked me because I didn't know, I've never seen High School Musical. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I will say I'm not, I wouldn't say classify myself as like a stan, but I've been listening to like a lot of the soundtracks, and High School Musical 2 is definitely the best one. So if you're only gonna watch one, I would watch that one. But I mean, that's my childhood. Like everybody growing up. Then again, I've never seen Twilight, which a lot of the people growing up have seen, which I haven't though. Then again, I haven't seen Harry Potter either, so I haven't seen a lot of like the things that a lot of people have, I feel like.
Well, and I think that there's something to that. It's like when things are so hyped up and there's entire, huge fan bases around it, it's kind of nice to scoot under the radar with stuff. I feel that. But now, kind of flash forward from, watching wrestling as a kid. Now you're a contributor for multiple wrestling sites, an editor for Gawcast, and host of your own show in a Wrestling Gal podcast. And of course, we can't ever pick favorites when it comes to guests. No. But is there a particular maybe episode of a Wrestling Gal or a specific article or project that you worked on that you are most proud of in your career so far?
Yes. Okay. So yeah. So one, it kind of combines all of them. I think like, especially article wise, especially growing up, like so growing up, I feel like a lot of people like had like the pop star magazines like Tiger Beat and all of that. I had all of that too. But other than that, like the only other thing I collected was really like wrestling magazines. Like, and I would always go rush to the newsstands, or like I was subscribed to WWE magazine for like 3 years before they like stopped doing it. I think it was like 2012 or 2013. And one of those was Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is like the biggest wrestling magazine. And of course, last year I got to be a part of the ranking committee for that, the women's list, and also write an article and talking to like 3 of my favorite people, Mickie James, Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, and I got to attend that event. And so to be able to write something in like the biggest wrestling magazine that I grew up loving was such a full circle moment with a lot of women that like I admired, and to be able to formulate into words and be published in PWI is like, whoa.
That's a huge moment. That's something to really like, a full circle moment. We talk about those all the time and how important it is. Now to kind of start the circle, I don't know, where would you say is maybe the first opportunity that you got to go from being a fan to being in the world of like journalism?
Definitely. I mean, everything is just going to go full circle back here. So like I started my podcast coming up, it'll be 3 years in July. So, I mean, I had been doing that for about a year, almost a year and a half, going into late 2020, and then Got TV started up. And then obviously that's Mickie James, Lisa Marie Vera, and SoCal Val. And so I wasn't really known. I had my own podcast. I think at that point, I had maybe 60, 70 episodes out at that point. And then Mickie messaged me and was like, do you want to help out, like launch our podcast for Gaw TV? And so she presented me with an opportunity, which now I found out why she did, but for her to present me with an opportunity to like help them launch their Gawcast, edit it, publish it for them, and have my name like in their circle, in their bubble, I think really is what catapulted me and started this domino effect. And I've said this before, I really think it started this domino effect of other opportunities to work with other sites and host other shows. And like, I don't think without Mickie presenting me with that opportunity and that relationship, that I don't think that I would have been able to have like, I mean, being noticed or people having my name out there and being involved in a lot of those other things that fell afterwards in like 2021 and 2022.
I mean, I definitely think you have so much talent that it would have just been a matter of time, but using that, like you said, as kind of like a catapult to really launch your career, I think is definitely incredible. Did Nikki ever share with you the reason behind why she asked you in particular?
Yes, because I had asked her because somebody else had asked me like how that came about. And so I was like, why did you like give me this opportunity? And she said, like, I saw that you were really passionate and I wanted to give you an opportunity. And because she believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, but she basically said that she saw I had a passion for pro wrestling and women's wrestling and knew that I knew some stuff with like podcasting and stuff, so that's why she gave me an opportunity.
Yes, Nikki. Thank you. Thank you. Because honestly, I feel like your voice is such like a gift that we have in the world of pro wrestling, especially in like the subsection of women's wrestling. And I feel like it's huge. And to think of, you know, if that opportunity hadn't come about, you know, where would you be right now? So it's obviously, I think you would still be doing stuff, but maybe not on this level. So it's really incredible. It's something worth celebrating.
Yeah, I really do think she's the reason why I got a lot of opportunities in 2021 and even in 2022. Like, I don't think that I would have had half of those opportunities had it not been for that like notch of GAW TV and GAWcast on my belt and for her advocating for me pretty much.
Hell yes, we love this. Well, and another cool opportunity that came about was that we were lucky to connect through CCW's In and Out the Locker Room. And, you know, we've chatted with guests on the podcast with a variety of topics, everything from snacks, of course, to gear inspirations, to traveling and everything in between. So if you were to step into the ring, who are 3 wrestlers whose gear inspirations you would want to work into your own presentation?
Oh, flipping the script.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. For me, most of my everyday wardrobe, I mean, you can tell most of my color is like half of my wardrobe is black. So I think I don't know if I would go super goth like Rhea Ripley. I would say like Liv Morgan has great gear, especially like her black gear and all of that. So, and I mean, her silhouettes are fantastic. And I mean, she has Aslan who designs them for her. So I think I would have to take some like aesthetic from Liv Morgan because I love that. But also I don't have like the same body as her. So I have to think of like, who else would I want to? I feel like there would be some like red or maroon in there because I really love those colors. I've dyed my hair like red, burgundy a lot before. There's a lot of people with good gear, but also I'm kind of sporty. So I think of like a sky blue. I mean, she has like the chucks. Sometimes she has the hat, and she's very simple but very sporty, athletic too. I kind of vibe with that, like comfy. So I feel like I would have to mix in some sky blue inspiration there. And then a third one. I don't even know. And also, like, would I want to wear like a singlet? Would it be like a
like
one
long
piece,
tights? What's the stitch?
I think I would definitely wear pants.
Okay.
Because I am not one. I don't wear 2 pieces really. I'm trying to think of who has like some awesome pants. I don't know. Or like tights. I keep going back to Rhea Ripley in my mind. Maybe I just have to stick with Rhea Ripley.
I think
she has the awesome like leather stuff going on there and like lots of chains and stuff too. And I feel like it's pro wrestling. You get to like be something that maybe you're not necessarily. You get to crank yourself up and experiment with stuff. So yeah, I guess I would say Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Sky Blue.
I love that combination too, because I feel like it is different. It's different facets of personality. You know, some are a little bit like outside of a comfort zone. Some are in a comfort zone. I like it. Okay. Now, recently, I don't know when episode 250 is going to officially launch, but we did get to chat about some dream match scenarios. We created our own promotion. It was amazing. And I want to thank you for letting me be a part of it. And congratulations on 250 episodes. And recently you also shared 15 of your top favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
So from that list, who would be your top choice to join you as part of a tag team? And who would be your number one rival?
Okay, you're asking an obvious question here, Alyssa.
I know. But you know what? Sometimes I just have to,
You know what? Let's not be obvious here. Okay. Let's go with... I don't want to be rivals with... Okay, you know what? Okay. I'm going to say, because he can sell the heck out of me, I'm going to say, but there's two of them that could really... Actually, there's three of them that can really sell. Oh, but I couldn't... Okay. I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler as my rival, because him and I have... Anyone who's been following me for years, him and I have this love-hate thing going on. Every time I see him, we have this fun banter, and we know we're cool. So I think we would naturally be rivals in the ring, and I think he would sell great for me. I mean, he's great at selling, so I think even if I'm not the best in the ring, he would still sell it as if I was like legendary. As for my tag team partner, oh man, let's not be obvious here.
Who is the obvious choice, and then who would be your not so obvious choice?
The obvious choice is hardcore country Mickie James.
Of course, okay.
I mean, she's great at selling too. She would smack the heck out of Dolph. That would be so funny.
True.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say Io Shirai, because she's like flippin' fantastic. She can do all the top rope stuff that I'm too afraid to do, with the moonsaults and all of that. And plus, she is not afraid to take some like hardcore stuff. We've seen her with the trash can. We've seen her go through a ladder. I feel like I got good backup in the form of Io Shirai.
I think that's a great choice. Yeah, it's balanced. You might have the strong ground game. I feel like you got a lot of power, and she could do more of, the aerial maneuvers.
Yeah.
This is good. I like where this is going. Also, though, I mean, obvious choice of Mickie James is also a phenomenal choice, of course. So, you and I have also talked about some of the ups and downs that come along with building yourself as a voice in the wrestling world. You shared a lot of really encouraging words on social media in regards to some of those moments of doubt that can kind of creep in. Is there any advice that you've received that really resonated with you and helps to keep you motivated on your journey?
Yeah, and it's from Denise Salcedo, actually. I've gotten the opportunity to chat with her twice. And one of the things, like, even after, like, me and her, like, chatted for a good 20, 30 minutes after we went off the air, just about, like, life and, like, the wrestling community in general. And one of the things she told me was basically, like, find your niche and like own it. And I feel like now, whether I was intending to or not, I feel like people have told me when they think of women's wrestling, they think of me. And so I've kind of, I mean, a lot of the stuff I do, I mean, I'm on part of Women's Wrestling Talk. I write Women's Wrestling Wrap Up for WrestleZone. I'm part of Women's Wrestling Focus for SC Scoops. I mean, a wrestling gal is a lot of the women's wrestling talent. I mean, we have CCW and all women's promotion. And so I think it's really honing in and finding your niche. And there's so many different subsections in pro wrestling too, whether you like doing reviews, you like doing like nostalgic stuff, like I don't know, playing old video games or watching like old matches. There's predictions, there's interviewing, there's behind the scenes like documentaries. There's so many things that you could do, not only in broadcasting but in wrestling. And I think it's finding your niche, but also experimenting a little bit. I've definitely done stuff that like I'm not really like that good at, or just getting used to, like doing more live streams and stuff. I've done a few of them, but I've only done like one or two myself, which is really intimidating, but it's also pushing yourself out of your bubble. And I think finding your niche and making yourself known for something is basically what Denise told me. And now, not that I identify with this, but people have told me like I'm the queen of women's wrestling or whatever. I personally don't think I am, but hey, I'll take that. I think that I've established myself. When people think of women's wrestling, I think I'm one of the creators people think of, you know? And so I think that's definitely something that has stuck with me.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a really great motivation to realize like, hey, this is like what I've been working to build up. Like, let me keep going.
Yeah.
So I feel that. So obviously we've talked now, I mean, you've shared just, I feel like we're barely scratching the surface at all of the different projects that you have your hands in. So when you aren't writing articles or doing live streams or hosting podcasts and being a ding dang boss chick, what non-wrestling activities do you like to get into when you have your fleeting off times?
So last night I was up until 2 a.m. watching live streams of, I only watch like Among Us like content or like Town of Salem. Like I don't have an Xbox or any of that stuff, so unless it's on the PC or like on my phone or Wii, I don't know how to play it or won't play it. So I love Among Us. So I was watching a bunch of live streams last night just of them playing it. I also, this sounds really weird, I also really love ASMR and have been since college. It has really helped me like get into my zen, especially when I am like stressed out. So I'm really into that too. Like I could talk extensively about that, but I'm not going to embarrass myself right now. And then honestly, just scrolling through TikTok and then starting my own crystal collection.
Yes.
TikTok,
okay.
Yeah. TikTok is literally, it's so addictive. I will say it's not as bad as last year when I would be up to 4 or 5 in the morning, but still TikTok has gotten to me to buy so much stuff.
Now, speaking of your crystal collection and crystal talk, what have been the newest additions to your menagerie of crystals?
I can show them to you if you want.
Please,
You're gonna
show
have
and
to
tell.
cut this. You're gonna have to cut this though.
And here.
Okay, so I still have them in the box because I'm weird and I'm lazy, so I haven't added them. Well, first I got a couple sphere stands. I mean, that's pretty standard. So one of them is actually, I don't think she'll be watching this, but a couple of them are presents for my friend for her birthday coming up. But the one I was really searching for was a sunstone palm. And the cool thing about this, the lighting doesn't do it justice, but it's this really pretty like orangey red. So there's like little cards too that like tell you like what each of them mean and stuff. And so sunstone is like bringing light and sun into your life, helps to remind us to keep balance between work and play, which I struggle with. And then clears and activates all energy pathways, bringing in fresh energy and hope. And so basically it's like bringing joy and like positivity into your life. And I had a little sunstone heart, but I really, really wanted a palm stone.
And it's called a palm stone because it's like comfortable and like smooth for the palm.
So it fits in your hand. Perfect. I'm also a really big fan of moss agate. It's one of my favorites. Also, as you can see, it's another palm stone. This is more like so with like nature and stuff like that. But I'm a big fan of moss agate. And then I finally got some fluorite. Fluorite is really cool. It's this mini tower. There's a mix of like white, purple, and then into green. Fluorite is really, really pretty.
That's really pretty. I like how like the variations in the tone is very nice.
Yeah. And then I think this one I was really excited for too. So Ocean Jasper is one of those where there's like a wide variety of different colors because, you know, like there's a different colors in the ocean. So this one has purple and like green in it, but then it can also have like red or yellow or orange. And so I love how it reflects to you on there. There's Alyssa.
Like, hello.
Awesome. So there's like they're like intuitively chosen by whoever the seller is too, so I guess she felt like a purple and green vibe for me, which kind of matches my fluorites. I think it matches pretty much.
Perfect.
And then I got an Angel Aura Rose Quartz. Oh my god, it doesn't do it justice. It looks clear on there, but there you see like the sheen on here. Yeah. So like Angel Aura, let me pull it up. So it's Angel Aura Rose Quartz, and so it says high vibrational with a whimsical energy. It expands the consciousness and heals the physical and spiritual body. You will find a sense of optimism and joy that rejuvenates the soul, also removes negativity and brings a pureness to both mind and the heart. And so Aura Quartz is basically like the rainbow sheen on here, so that's why it's like this color and not just like a white or like a yellow sheen. It's like rainbow. And so I think it's really cool. I love like aura, and like if you see anything with aura, like Aura Quartz is really pretty.
That's beautiful. And I like the message of, you know, helping to get out negativity and welcome positivity. Yes, we love.
And then I don't know why I didn't have any just black obsidian before, because it's good for Scorpios and like blocking out negative energy basically is black obsidian. Like that. And then I got one more in here. I got Rainbow Moonstone. Actually, I have two more. I got Rainbow Moonstone. Again, you can't really tell, but there's a rainbow like sheen on it. And it's really It's really pretty.
Is that like a bird on it too?
No, so there's like black specks on here. Some of them have more than others, but Rainbow Moonstone is really pretty. Like you can't tell, but there's a rainbow sheen on it too.
That's gorgeous. I actually kind of like that it looks like a bird.
And then my last one, which my friend's not going to see this anyway, but I got us friendship bracelets. And so on this one, and there's like peach moonstone, there's clear quartz and rose quartz. And with this one, there's actually new stones that I actually hadn't heard of. The one is iolite, labradorite, which I love. I think me and you have discussed that before. Yeah. And then there's onyx on it, which I believe is good for Scorpios too. And so I got us I got us friendship bracelets, and there's like a little heart in the middle that connects them.
And it's like magnetic?
Yeah.
That's so dope.
So, Rebecca, if you're watching this, don't watch this.
Yeah, right? And Rebecca, now you may resume watching the episode.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What beautiful kind of additions to your growing collection of crystals. Wow.
It all started because I just wanted a sunstone palm. And then, I mean, if you're going to go crystal shopping, you can't just buy one thing.
Like, you kind of have to, like, go crystal
I know.
You know, I feel that. So, speaking of treating yourself, you did recently share that you're possibly going to be doing some traveling for your birthday this year. Are you thinking of doing something that is just a strictly chill time vacation, or do you plan to work some wrestling into your potential trip?
I don't know yet. And it's ironic that you asked that, because where I was thinking of was in your neck of the woods in Philadelphia. So I don't know yet. I mean, flights and stuff are still crazy wild.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think though a couple of days would definitely be chilling out. I mean, I have the whole week blocked off already, and we're still like 5 months away, so a lot depends. But I mean, if promoters are open, hey. I have that week off regardless. So we'll see. I mean, I would love to, obviously see a lot of people, and again, this is just all like hypothetical right now. I mean, of course I would love to see you, and I was like, Samira, you're coming if I go. Because she's pretty close to there too. I mean, I would love to be able to work some of it, but also it's my birthday and I kind of want to enjoy it. And if something happens, something happens.
And aside from potentially the Philadelphia area, are there any other top contender destinations for you?
That are like realistic.
No, that aren't realistic. Give me some dream scenarios.
I've always wanted to go to Australia. That has been like at the top of my bucket list since forever. And plus I have so many Australian friends there, which I got to see a bunch of them in Dallas. But I've always wanted to go there. And even recently too, I was talking to my most recent episode of awrestlinggal, like Iceland has been on the top of my list too, because it just seems so cool. And there's like the different seasons wherever you go, and I think that's really cool. And then always Paris has been at like the top of my Paris, France. I've always wanted to go there, but again, that's not realistic unless somebody wants to pay for my trip gladly.
Manifesting.
But yeah, I like Australia though has like been at the top of my list, and of course like the UK too.
And I feel like definitely Australia is like. I feel like there's no way that you wouldn't get somehow involved in wrestling if you took a trip out there, just because you know so many people.
Oh, I know a lot of people there, yeah.
Well, because it's a podcast and it's the two of us, we can't get through this episode without discussing snacks. Mm-hmm. So I've got to know your top 3 junk foods that you can't live without.
So I can tell you right now, anybody, my good friends will tell you that I am a Cheez-It addict. Like, Samira, for my one birthday a couple years ago, bought me a shirt that said Cheez-It. Like, it was literally a picture of a Cheez-It, and it said it, and it was red.
OG Cheez-It, or are you open to, like, Parmesan or whatever?
No, OG Cheez-It. The rest are, like... I mean, the extra toasty one's okay, but the rest of them, I'm just like, no.
Fair.
Do we count chocolate as, like, snacks? I don't know.
I would. Candy? I think it falls in.
I'm a big candy person. Anything with caramel, whether it's like a Twix or a Caramello, is really good. The only candy I don't really like, and don't come at me, people, is like Almond Joys and Mounds. I'm not a fan of coconut or like any of that stuff really. Any other chocolate though, I will pretty much eat besides those two. I
feel like that's not an uncommon sentiment when it comes to candy. So
I just don't like coconut. I don't hate it, but like I will not eat an Almond Joy or a Mound. No.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
And then I think I would just say chips is my third favorite. I'm very plain though when it comes to chips. Like whether it's like barbecue or regular and whatever brand or like pizza Pringles. I'm very picky. I'm a very picky eater though. So with chips, I'll only eat like barbecue, like the Doritos nacho ones, or like the plain or wavy in any of the brands.
That's fair. But you have a nice kind of selection that, you know, depending on what your options are, you can always have a little something. Fair. I like it. Well, LJ, my friend, you're an absolute gem. And please tell our pals at home where they can find you, where they can support A Wrestling Gal, and pick up some merch.
Oh, it's funny you should say that. I have your new Marino shirt upstairs. It just came a couple days ago. So if people should buy your new shirt too on fullygimmicks.com. But for me, if you go to Twitter @it's EllaJ, if you go to the link in my bio, it's my link tree to all my links to all my podcasts and writing and all that fun stuff. And you can go to awrestlinggal.com for merch and more exclusives.
Love it. My friend, you are a delight. I am so grateful that you took the time to chat with me today. And I just can't wait to see what's next and what other, crazy things you got in the works. I love it. LJ's taken over. You heard it here. Probably not first, but I'm going to reiterate it. LJ's taken over. Thank you again. And until next time, my friends, continue to do your best to be your best. And we will see you later.